Today on The Social. An Australian radio station is facing backlash from listeners after it revealed they were using an AI-generated host for 6 months. And is it harder to date a woman that's been single for a long time? Why one man is going viral for admitting that courting someone who's used to being alone is an extreme sport. Then,
Elena, you look awful.
The incomparable Julia Louis-Dreyfus joins us to talk about the Thunderbolts movie and her character, baddie Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Plus, skincare heroes that deserve top spot on your shelf. Power-packed ingredients that fight dullness, banish breakouts, and keep you glowing. It all starts now on The Social.
Listen, you know what that's called? That is some Friday energy. Welcome to The Social, everybody. We'd like to welcome today journalist and author Cathrin Bradbury. Welcome to That was all for you, Cathrin, clearly. Clearly. Okay, everybody, let's begin with this question. How would you feel if you found out that the host of one of your favorite radio shows was actually artificial intelligence? Guess what? That's exactly what happened at an Australian radio station. They are now facing backlash from listeners after it came out that the host of their daily 4-hour show called Workdays with Thai wasn't human. And for how long? The last 6 months. Okay, so Thai was the host and she was introducing songs, playing music, but it was all fake. It was created through voice cloning software. So, Cathrin, we're going to start with the question, should the station have actually disclosed up front Thai is artificial intelligence?
Well, I mean, obviously the audience is on my side. Because, of course, I mean, first of all, it's a trick. It's a lie. They lied about it being AI. But on the other hand, AI kind of is a trick and a lie, right? Like, it's not real. At one point, the person running the show said, we wanted to have the feeling of real personality, so we modeled it on someone in our finance department. And I'm like,
true. Sounds like a corporate decision.
How about real personalities? Like, how about having real personalities instead of modeling it on real personalities?
But listen, we know that there is a money crunch across businesses everywhere. Media is having a hard time. Maybe they could have just said, we got to save some money.
Yep.
So could that have been the fix and they should have gotten out ahead of it? I don't know.
I'm really surprised that the audience is this upset because in my head I'm like, Thai was just introducing songs. I think if this was a talk radio station where they were talking politics and you're interviewing people and it was, you know, AI talking to AI, I'd understand why everybody's upset. To me, this is the same as like growing up. I'm going to show my age. You guys remember a guy named Casey Kasem?
Yes.
Casey Kasem had a syndicated radio show where he would just give you little tidbits and then throw to a song. I listened to him for a very long time. He was on the air for decades. I never ever been in the same room with this man. I don't even know if he's real. None of us know if he's real because he was just on the radio. So to me, this AI is just the future of that because it's like you're not really in the same room with that person on the radio anyway, and they're just doing intros to songs.
Okay, but wait a minute. Let's not diminish the person who does the intros for songs, and I think that you're also diminishing the audience who gets curious. The reason why Casey Kasem worked is he would tell stories, and people probably eventually were like, what is Casey Kasem? Where does he live? What was his background?
And they weren't doing this because there was was no intro.
I know, you're right. The phone, going to the library, doing something like that. But you need to, I think where you're right is that they maybe could have gotten away with this if they had said right out of the gate, we're trying this out. We've brought in an AI personality, and we've created a story around them. There's this person who is a virtual influencer named Lil Michaela, and I'll just show you a little clip that recently was on YouTube.
I thought I was just a girl from LA, but plot twist, I'm a robot. I found out I was not a girl but a robot by being exposed on IG. I don't remember much before that day, but I do know that I'm 19 years old forever.
Okay, but she looks fake. She looks fake.
I know, but she has millions of followers.
What did we just watch?
You watched a little?
We watched
It feels very weird.
So she was basically going on, she's had followers on Instagram for a long time. This is her YouTube story where apparently she's claiming that she just found out that she's not real. She's a robot, okay? I know, it's very next level. My point is that if someone like a radio station decided to bring on a virtual influencer, we're headed in this direction, who has a backstory, who has information, I do think that there's a chance that will take off at some point. I hate it. It's gonna put us all out of a job, but I'm not, I think there is a capacity for it from the audience perspective.
You know what, I think there's certain jobs that I think I hope I'm right in saying, will never be replaced by AI. And there's some jobs that will. You know, like once upon a time, speaking of age, there was a thing called Encyclopedia Britannica. And, not to show my age, but you know, once upon a time, that's where you would get information. And now we do search engines, and we're okay with that.
Thank you.
Right, so that's fine. If it's AI, ChatGPT, we get it. But when there's supposed to be a human behind it, it's like we're never gonna accept, as much as esports are a big thing, we're never gonna accept watching football with a bunch of AI, are we? Like there's certain things that are just human by nature.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Wait, here's the deal. You make a good point. Do you think it's a human element? Because when we think about replacing books and then just going online to just like ChatGPT, would have a problem. But when we know a person, and we all know people in radio losing their jobs to an AI robot, I think that's what's hitting us.
Yes.
We don't want that to happen.
And it's the connection too. So when we listen to someone talk, we hear the words, but we also hear the way they say the words.
Yes.
We hear the cadence. That's part of how we understand.
No, but AI got that down pat too.
You know what? No, you bring up a good point. The human part of it, the last thing I want to say is you brought up AI influencers. The #1 followed AI influencer on Instagram is very obviously AI. Her name is, I think, Louisa, or it's short for Lulu. She has 7.8 million followers on Instagram. She was created for the only purpose of supporting, she's a virtual model, I guess we'll call her, for a big store in Brazil called Magazine Luiza. Biggest chain, I think they sell furniture and stuff. But they created Louisa just to sell their stuff.
But they told people.
But they told people. But here's the thing, her engagement rate, not to get too in the weeds, is 0.1%. She's got 7.8 million followers, but less than 8,000 people actually.
So are those followers even real, or did she buy those?
No, she didn't. No, they're real.
Because that math ain't nothing.
But let's assume they're all real. No, great point. But let's assume they're all real. If her job is to engage and get real, nobody cares because she's not real.
Yes.
So maybe that's the bottom line.
We still have a job for a little bit longer.
A little while. Okay. Up next, everybody, one man is going viral because he is saying, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. He says that dating women who have been single for a long time, he says, is akin to an extreme sport. We're going to tell you what he's saying and if it's true or not right after this.
Monday on The Social, TikTok made me buy it, hair care edition. Stylist Jason Lee gives us the scoop on what products are really worth your dollar. Next week on The Social, your pet care checklist. What to know to keep fur babies safe and tails wagging as the seasons change.
Okay, we are having a time in this studio audience, are we not? if you're going to be in the Toronto area, we would love to welcome you live here in studio. So scan the code that's on the screen right now with your phone. Just open up the camera option. It will take you to the website, and we would love to officially invite you to be part of our studio audience.
We'd love it. Okay, here's a question. Is it harder to date a woman that's been single for a long time? A man is going viral on TikTok for saying that courting a woman who's used to being alone is an extreme sport for your self-esteem. So, do you think you have to work harder to date a woman who's been single for a while? Cathrin.
Okay, God knows women have been trying to learn men's ways for centuries. So I think they can work a little harder to learn some of ours.
Interesting.
I love my ways. I love the peace I give myself. I think we should all give ourselves peace to enjoy the ways we do things. We don't have to have those words in our head like she's fixed in her ways or she only has one way that they start to say about women all the time, not men so much. But, you know, recipes for one. Pour over coffee to the quiet of my own thoughts. In the article, he says, you know, these women who are single, they want to sleep diagonally on the bed. Well, okay, I like smack in the center of the bed. So, I say work a little harder, work a little harder.
Well, you know what? You're being very nice about it. I was going to come out guns blazing on this one. First of all, to call it an extreme sport seems very disrespectful and rude. It's not an extreme sport. And I think the problem that this guy is highlighting is a lot of men, when they're growing up, they're raised to think that to impress a woman, you use things. This is why you have a fancy car. This is why you wear designer clothes, where you let her know that you got the double G's on your belt. And that is what they've been taught woos a woman. But the problem is when they meet a woman who's been to the rodeo a few times, and she also at the same time has built up her own wealth and she has her own double G's on her belt, well, you got to come at her with something that you can't buy, which is consistency, transparency, right? Real connection. And I think that is what he's having. This is what these men are coming up against. And like, yeah, it's really hard out there. It's like, no, you have to bring something that you have not developed, my friend. She's not impressed by your little dinner date at the fancy restaurant. She wants you to actually be consistent on a regular basis and really tap into who she is. And a lot of men struggle with that. So I think that is what he's highlighting to me.
So then the question is, like, I mean, can I say you're both single, are actively dating?
We're actively sleeping diagonally in our beds right now.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Well, the reason why I ask is, like, you know, what is going to get your attention at this stage of the game? Because you're right, you don't necessarily you're doing just fine. So what is it going to be that gets your attention? When you talk about those soft skills, what's going to really blow your socks off if it's not the Ferrari?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was going out with a man for a while, and he did listen to my ways, and I listened to his. So being of the age we are, 70, we both realized that we really wanted to go home to our own beds at 10 o'clock.
I like that.
Okay. And that's what we did.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That was good. That was good. Just, you know, it's hard to sleep with other people. I mean, I don't know
how these married people do it every night. I think the same thing. I'm like,
I don't know.
Kind of bed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of sexy.
Yeah,
You know,
I like that.
Yeah.
No argument, no, you know, but do you love me? Just, yeah. I'm going home. I sleep too.
Yeah.
Go home, goodbye.
Yeah. I'd say at this stage of the game, anything that feels fake or false or put on, I don't have the time for that. The 20-year-old girl who would have, like, let that red flag go, that girl's dead and gone. So you have to be a real person to me and just bring yourself. And the minute I feel like you're leading with, like, oh, I'm a such and such, or I drive, I'm like, and we're done here. So you just have to be a real person. So when guys are like, it's so hard, I go, you know what, all it takes is like a good morning. And I'm in. I'm like, all right, good morning. And let's start a conversation. But men, they really do build it up, because I've had these conversations so many times. They build it up. They think that we need all of these things. And it's like, no, it really is very simple. Just a hi, hello, how are you, a little small talk, and then be consistent with that and find out what I like. That's it.
Authenticity.
That's it. It's really not that difficult.
So don't you think that, you know, like, there's these guys, they sell programs, like dating programs for men, like all these pickup artists.
Blind leading the blind.
It's the blind leading the blind. I just want to put that out there.
Because if we're not in the room, if we're not in the room, what are you really being told? Are you tapping into what we need? It's the same thing when you just have women talking to women about what men think. It's like, it's the blind leading the blind. You need a man in that room to go, no, we don't think that way. No, we don't act that way. So it's
fascinating.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's all terrible. All right, speaking of extreme sports, after a conversation with her girlfriends, this TikToker wants to know if all women blow dry down there. Take a look. Take a look.
One of them says after they shower, part of their routine is they put their leg up on a ledge, and then they take a blow dryer, right, and they blow dry their undercarriage, you know? And I was like, what?
All right. Ladies, I'm so glad I see one man looking so confused in our audience. All right, so the question is, do you blow dry your vagina after you shower? Who wants to pick that one?
One or two. Listen, okay, this is why language and words and knowledge of anatomy
School them.
matters.
Everyone listen, Cynthia, school them.
You would, first of all, this is, your vagina is the canal. You would never you cannot blow anything ever into the vagina. It's actually dangerous. Look it up, okay? So if you want to put air on your vulva, that's another story. I would recommend maybe not hot air. Like, I think that that's a danger thing.
It's a burn danger.
I don't think any gynecologist would ever recommend this, to be clear. But I think if it's maybe a low-key fan, I can see the appeal. I've never done it, but I could sort of see the appeal.
For what? For the appeal because it feels good?
Yeah, that's the only reason. Is there another reason? Like, I think that
Well, you know what I was thinking, because I don't do this, just to make sure that we're clear. I was thinking, perhaps if a woman has a full garden down there, she might need a little extra help getting it dry. Whereas a woman who has a very low-cut grass, if you get what I mean, doesn't need as much hot air to dry the whole situation.
Like clear cut.
Yeah, if it's clear cut, or she just took up all the grass and there's just nothing down there.
Yeah.
She just needs a pat and she's done.
Yes, pat.
I was fixated with the word undercarriage. Like, undercarriage is like under a car or a plane. It's right there. It's
Say it.
Undercarriage. It's just speaking of words. Like,
yes.
My undercarriage. Would you like to see my undercarriage? But no, I have never done it. But, you know, I think I will.
I did not see that coming.
Why not?
On the cool setting.
I was like,
On the cool setting.
On the cool setting.
You will report back to us, Cathrin, via an Instagram video. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Cathrin, you are very busy, though. I don't know if you have time to be blow drying your vagina. Vulva, thank you. Because you just released a brand new book this week, so we want to say a huge congratulations. It is, yes, that's big. That's what it's called, This Way Up, Old Friends, New Love, and a Map for the Road Ahead. Now, you explore questions that arise when you kind of hit that age 70 mark and older. And so what are the questions that you most enjoy digging into at this stage?
Well, the book starts with a 3 a.m. idea because I was 68 when I was writing it, and I was going to turn 70, and I thought, I'm going to need a map to old age, whatever old age is. So I start to call map experts across Canada. And here's the thing about map experts. If you say I want a map to old age, they don't bat an eye. It's like you've just said, I need a map to Parry Sound. They're like, sure, yeah, when do you meet? Come on in, we'll show you the map to old age. So we had these great conversations, and that was where it started, and that was a lot of fun about where I was from. You know, if you look at your own map of life, it's really interesting. Where I was from, where I am now, where I'm going. On my map, to my astonishment, I've moved about an inch from one side of Lake Ontario to the other. Like, I picture this huge life, but in fact, I started out in the south side of Lake Ontario, I ended up on the north side, whichever. What are we on, the north or the south side of Lake Ontario? Anyway, I ended up here. The only sort of sad ending to the question of the map and where we're all going is finally I talked to a map curator about, you know, where are we really going? And he said, well, what's off map is, you know, death.
Yes.
So, we'll have to come to terms with that. But there's a lot of happy stuff before you get to that.
That's really, really, what a neat concept as well. Cathrin, thank you so much for joining us today. So much fun.
Thank you.
All right, again, it's called This Way Up. What a fascinating read. Studio audience, why don't you start enjoying it this weekend? You're going home with your copy today. All right, everybody, after the break, the one, the only, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Welcome back. Well, the latest installment from the Marvel Cinematic Universe is here. Thunderbolts has crashed into theaters, and the ragtag cast of anti-heroes finally meet their match with Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Take a look.
Oh, nice to see you, Ava. Elena, you look awful. You sure you're really ready for that public-facing role you asked me about?
Eat Valentina. Where's Bob?
Look at you. You are all so adorable. Just think, I send you down there to kill each other, and instead, you make nice and you form a team. Who is this old Santa?
I'm Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian.
What?
Well, today we are so lucky to be joined by the star of the film and all-around Hollywood goddess, the one, the only Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Welcome to The Social.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's such an honor. It really is. So, Julia, you are a Canadian. We welcome you to Canada, first of all. But
can I be a Canadian?
I mean,
I'd
would you
love
like to be? Because we can see if we can pull some strings.
Thank you.
I was going to say you are an American that we are thrilled to celebrate here in Canada. So
okay.
I feel like honorary. The door's always open for Julia Louis-Dreyfus for sure.
Thank you.
Listen, congratulations on the film. What a ride it is.
Yeah, right.
And we have seen you play some just baddie female characters already throughout your career. We have Elaine, we have Selena, we have Christina now.
Valentina
Allegra de Fontaine. Don't forget the de as well. So you're walking into this Marvel universe with this character who really is quite a baddie. And what is it like to walk into the universe as such a boss?
Particularly on this film, it was very delicious because I have more material to sort of sink my teeth into. Yeah. And in this film, you really get a chance to understand what makes Valentina tick. You know, what is the driver behind her insatiable need for power and control? And that was a delight to play.
It was a delight to watch as well.
Thank you.
And speaking of boss, I remember a few years ago, I think any women over a certain age remember this skit, which was a last, well, we'll say, bleepable day.
That's right.
Yeah, where you threw a retirement party of sorts for a group of women's, let's say, sexual viability.
Hollywood desirability is what the sketch was about.
Yeah, and it was iconic to say the least. But what would Valentina's retirement party be like?
Valentina is not somebody who's considering retirement. Yeah.
Ever.
For real. She is not the retiring kind.
We love that. Let's talk about the Thunderbolts because they are a ragtag group of misfits and another band of merry anti-heroes that all of us grew up with and adore. Of course, the iconic characters in Seinfeld. And this is an inside question, but is there any character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that you think is truly sponge-worthy?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy-hitting question.
That's a serious question.
Yeah.
It's a real gotcha moment
It's
for me.
a real gotcha.
I would have to say the Hulk.
The Hulk?
Yeah. He's so green.
Let's talk about Valentina, who reminds at least me, perhaps a lot of other people as well, of another iconic character that you played, which is Selena Meyer. And of course, Veep, iconic in and of itself. But, you know, fiction then was stranger than reality, perhaps.
Yes.
Maybe not anymore.
Correct.
I think things have sort of flipped, and we know that J.D. Vance's meeting with the Pope, for example, a lot of people are saying, this feels like a Veep episode, perhaps.
It does.
So in the face of everything going on in the world right now, how do you, you know, where is the place for funny? How do you find the funny in an otherwise very serious state of affairs right now?
I stick with my people. I read. I'm working in the Marvel universe. There's plenty of fun and funny to be had there, really. I mean, just making this film in the midst of all the craziness right now was a bit of a tonic, to tell you the truth. It's sort of a departure. And the film has important themes that apply to even this moment that we are all in, not just in the United States, but globally, and that is it speaks to the power of community and connecting with other people, and how that can take you out of darkness and into light.
I said to you off air that I'm such a huge fan of your podcast.
Thank you.
Wiser Than Me. It is something to be taken away from every single one of your guests, and also listening to you as such an adept interviewer as well, I would have to say.
Thanks.
It's so beautifully done.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Thank you.
Is there something that you've taken away from, I mean, you've had iconic guests, but is there something or a lesson that you've really really digested and it's become a part of you since hearing through one of your guests?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Yeah, I would say no is a complete sentence is something that I keep in mind and apply it. And, you know, because I think particularly as women, we're prone to put caveats around the word no. You know, I'm sorry, or I understand that, but I can't really know, that kind of a thing. And I think to own a no and to assert yourself, and you can do it very pleasantly, but no is a complete sentence.
It's quite rebellious to hear you say that. The other part I find really rebellious is the idea that you start with asking women their age, if they so choose to share, which I think is also a very, very powerful move. Why do that?
Well, it's a show about age and wisdom. And so I think it's a celebration of age. And I'm really interested to know how old Carol Burnett is, or Isabel Allende, or whoever it happens to be, because that lets me know how much life experience they have under their belt. And I think that's something to, you know, hold your head high about, you know?
And bringing that back to the film, you are the matriarch on the set as Valentina with this cast of anti-heroes as well. What is it like when you have the Florence Pughs on set? Are they asking you advice? And what is that dynamic like when you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus on set?
I'll tell you one thing that's really cool about the business that I'm in, that I'm working on something with people who are so young, and in other universes, I might not have had the opportunity to work with like somebody like Geraldine who plays Mel, who is my son's age, and yet we're colleagues. Same for Florence. You know, we're colleagues in this movie. We're working together, and the age piece of this disappears completely, which is interesting.
Oh, I really love that.
Yeah.
And finally, we understand you've got street cred with your sons now.
Yes, I do.
Doing that film. What is that like, has been like?
Both of my sons came to the LA premiere, and they didn't know anything about the film. They had seen nothing. I told them nothing. So they were thrilled.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Well, now you're cool mom for life.
Yeah, I'm cool mom for life.
Yeah. And we just absolutely, again, love having you here. And thank you so much for taking time to join us here.
Oh, what a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Everyone, Thunderbolts, it is now playing exclusively in theaters. Go and see it. Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Retinol, vitamin C, and actives. There's a lot to know when it comes to the most buzzworthy ingredients in your top shelf skincare.
Okay, but just which elements take star status? Well, lucky for us, our next guest has got us all covered. Here with our ultimate list of skincare heroes is beauty expert Carly Ostroff. Welcome back, Carly.
Okay, Carly, we're going to start today with the skincare hero. I feel like we all love it. It is vitamin C. Talk about why it's such an important step in our routines.
So vitamin C is this all-star ingredient when it comes to brightening the skin. It really helps with hyperpigmentation, so that's if you have dark spots or even melasma. It also boosts collagen. It is an incredible ingredient on its own, but I have to say I like it even better when it is paired with SPF for sun protection. And you can find it all in this new Garnier Vitamin C Daily Brightening Cream.
Okay.
So this is a multitasking product that you can use as a brightener, a sunscreen, and a moisturizer all in one.
Oh, I love that. Brightener, sunscreen,
and moisturizer all in one.
Okay, right?
Yes.
Right? It's so good.
So it has this antioxidant complex with C, E, and LHA. It brightens your skin and it evens tone and texture. You can see as you've used it, it blends right into your skin. Most importantly, with the sunscreen, you're not getting that white cast, and you actually get a little bit of a glow.
Oh my gosh, we love this.
Yeah, totally. Who wants multi-step when you can just do it all in one?
in the thing.
Very good.
Okay, up next, you say that plant-based milk is also a hero ingredient. So what? I've never heard of that being used for our skin, though.
Okay, so plant-based milk, not just for your coffee, right? It is full of antioxidants like vitamin C and E, so it protects your skin from damage that can get caused by free radicals. These are full of healthy fats, so really nourishing, and it softens the skin. They're also hormone-free, so ideal if you have sensitive skin. Okay. Now, I think that the Dove soap bars are one of the most iconic bars out there. I have so many fond memories of my grandmother using it. What I brought you today is not your grandmother's soap bar. This is the new Dove Plant Milk Cleansing Bars.
Mine's like very natural.
So this is like a sweet treat for your skin. You slow down, you take your moment, you turn your shower into this indulgent experience, which is easy with these in hand because they whip up into this very creamy and rich lather. The plant milk is what's really gonna help to nourish and soften the skin. So the scents are incredible. So you have the oat milk berry brulee.
We smelled this as soon as we came out here. We were
it's
like, what is that
delicious.
smell? It smells like you want to eat it.
And you have turmeric milk lemon drop. If you cannot get enough of these, they are also in body wash form. They're paraben and sulfate free, so they give you this like nice, gentle pH balance.
Oh, you could travel with this too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next hero ingredient you have is hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
So what should people know about and how to use
my
it?
favorite H word.
So everyone and their mother, and now probably even their grandmother, is talking about hyaluronic acid because it draws the water into your skin and then it helps retain it. It is doing that from the inside out, so it smooths fine lines and wrinkles. You can find it in so many products, but I have to say, my favorite comes from Laura Mercier, which was one of the brands to get in on Skin First Beauty with their iconic tinted moisturizer. They have reworked this and added hyaluronic acid into it. So you now get
you have my color.
16 hours. You can do a switch.
Let's do a
Of
switch.
wear, and you get 24 hours of hydration. It is 88% skincare based, and you can see, so it's a sheer to light coverage. It's perfect for those no makeup looks.
But they have different skin tones as well, right?
There
This
are
is
20
great.
different shades, which is pretty incredible. And as you use it, you get results over time, so it will also improve your tone and texture. And the hyaluronic acid is going to smooth fine lines and wrinkles, and it just gives you this nice, dewy and glowy finish.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Double duty, triple duty, like that's where I'm at. I'm
that.
a lazy skincare person.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
all of it.
Okay, another word that a lot of people are talking about these days is peptides.
Yes.
So what are they, and what does it do for our skin?
Okay, so peptides are kind of active ingredient, and they create these short chains of amino acids, which boost collagen. Boosting collagen smooths our fine lines and wrinkles. So if you're thinking, sign me up, we can. This is from Vivier, and this is their Creme 47 Luxe Concentrate. It redefines skin renewal and defenses, especially for aging skin. It has 47 pharmaceutical ingredients, including those peptides, so it helps to restore, rejuvenate.
It feels expensive, it does.
It's funny that you say that. This is a very luxe product, so I just wanted to remind my husband that Mother's Day is coming up.
Hot tip, hot tip.
Yeah, it is clinically potent as well, and it has 4 cutting-edge complexes, so it really gives you those visible results and a complete anti-aging solution.
Okay, so I'm throwing that in, like at what stage of things? I go, like, is it right after my vitamin C and before my SPF, if I was doing them separate?
You want to go lightest to heaviest. So you start with things like a serum, and then you'll move up to your moisturizer.
Okay, great.
Got it, okay.
So I see a new spin on the retinol here. So Carly, what should we know about this hero ingredient?
Okay, so retinol is kind of the all-star when it comes to treating acne and also improving the signs of aging. It is a type of vitamin A that speeds up our cell renewal process that leads to natural exfoliation. Yes, you do want to use it on your whole body.
Yeah, I was like, could I put it here? Can I put it here? No.
Yes,
No.
and so it helps to smooth fine lines and wrinkles as well. It is kind of, it's pretty amazing. And so this is the Rock Skincare Derm Correction Firming Serum Stick, and it helps to tighten your face and neck instantly.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
You should have led with that. Hold on.
I have more. It has been clinically proven to increase skin's firmness by over 90% the second you put it on. Almost everyone who tried it found that it made this visible difference to tighten their faces and necks after about a month of use.
Sorry, I'm trying to reverse 20 years of tech neck. I don't know if that's going to do it.
And it's just under $50 at Shoppers Drug Mart, so you know, considerably cheaper than a session of Botox.
Okay, last one quickly. Shea butter, that feels like a bit of a throwback.
So shea butter is this natural ingredient that gives enhanced moisture to the skin. It's great if you have sensitivity, eczema, and it also improves the look of scars and even stretch marks. And you can find it in this new collection of body washes from Shea Moisture. These are great for everyone, but they're actually designed with darker skin tones in mind.
Oh, they like the bottles.
Yes.
They like the bottles.
More prone to water loss and dehydration, so the shea butter helps to give that added moisture and then lock it in for 24 hours. We have options. So we have the coconut and hibiscus, which uses coconut oil, hibiscus, and vitamin C. So it cleanses, clarifies, and brightens. We have the black African soap, which uses the ingredient together with oat and aloe to really soothe and balance. And lastly, we have the raw shea butter, which uses a fair trade shea butter to give you that maximum hydration that lasts all day.
Thanks so much, Carly. So good. Okay, studio audience, we want you to show your skin some TLC with these beauty heroes. So you're all going home with a collection of some of the products we've shown here today. So fun! Okay, don't go anywhere because we're gonna be right back with a guide on how to save money by growing your own food. Stay with us. Warms up, many of us are thinking about sprucing up our outdoor spaces. And did you know gardening can also help you save on grocery bills?
Yes, and here to show us how to turn your garden into a budget-saving oasis is our resident money expert, Melissa Leong is here. Nice to see you.
Okay, Melissa, you say that people often turn to growing their own food during tough financial times. Is that true?
Yes, they call it recession gardening. Basically, when times are tough and money is short and prices are rising, people look to grow their own food and they look to do more fun things at home. And so gardening, it's also associated with happiness, stress relief, so it could be a win for well-being as well as a win for your wallet if done thoughtfully.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. So how do you start gardening? How does starting gardening actually save you money?
Well, I have been feeling it at the grocery stores. I know many of us have over the years, especially with tariffs affecting prices at our food prices right now. And so it's a great time to try to grow your own food. So for me, I was really excited about blueberries were on sale. I ran up to the grocery store and then I saw $8, still $8. You know, so growing your own staples, growing leafy greens, herbs, carrots, tomatoes, that can be a great place to start. And also these plants, they come back. So if you plant lettuce, it comes back fast, it comes back often. For the plants that come back, they come once, like they flower once, like cilantro, and then it's done. I would plant the seeds, say, every 10 every week, so you have continuous crops. And then other herbs like chives, like mint, they grow like weeds. Yeah. So you plant them, they're bountiful, and I don't know about you, but my fresh herbs turn to slime in the fridge. So this is a great way to save money and save on food.
So great. Okay, so we turn to you, our audience and our social media followers, to find out what fruits and vegetables you plant in your gardens. And Melissa, you found out the results. What were they?
Yes, the people have spoken! There are so many great things to plant across the provinces. You have blackberries that last until the fall season. My neighbors, they will have a bartering system in place where they will trade zucchinis for peppers. And my amazing book editor, Jen, she plants kale in her front yard, which the leaves last until, they keep coming until December. So she just moseys on out there, she shakes the snow off the leaves. She pulls the leaves off and makes a kale salad. So
that's great. Wow, that's awesome.
Her outdoors is her fridge.
That's a great list. All right, so where do we start?
I would start with the food item that will have the most impact for your grocery budget. So whatever it is that you guys eat a lot of. For me, it's tomatoes. We eat a lot of fresh tomatoes, but then we also have pasta and pizza sauce and soups and stews. So pick something that's gonna have impact and then think about how you can make it last. So canning, freezing, jams,
good ideas.
Pickling. And then you want to, I would go and find your friend or family member with the greenest thumb. So for you guys, that might be Jess, because she's amazing. She's amazing at gardening. And they will help you create a plan, because you want to budget it like a renovation. Because I said in the very beginning of the segment that you want to do it thoughtfully, because Canadians spend billions of dollars at the garden center every year. You want to make sure that you don't get carried away. Even if you have a small space, even if you have a balcony or something, and you're thinking of building vertically with racks or with planters, you still want to do it mindfully and make a list, have good soil, basic ingredients, basic tools, and then finally you want to do some research. You want to look for plants that are going to thrive in your region, because native plants are going to be hardier, they're going to be more resilient, save you time, save you money, save you energy.
I know you have some more creative hacks, as you always do, up your sleeve. So how else can we save some money on a garden project?
Compost.
Oh, compost.
So make your own compost. All of your kitchen scraps, that can turn into nutrient-rich fertilizer, so-called black gold, which you can just mix with some leaves, dry leaves. If you're raking your lawn this weekend, save some of that for the summertime. Also, people think, I'm gonna buy new soil every year. You don't have to. Just use your old soil and just mix in some compost to freshen that up.
Okay.
Also, municipalities have free compost that they give out from depots. Toronto has community environment days where basically they just give out free bags of compost on the weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
And then finally, you want to Google recycled gardening ideas. And anything can be a container for plants. So laundry bins can become something that you grow potatoes in. People have old tires as flower beds. Cartons, egg cartons, you can use those for seedlings. Rotisserie chicken containers, people use those as greenhouses for seedlings as they bring them outside. So be creative.
Yes. And you just use a word that got my attention, free.
Yes.
So I've heard you say that you can actually garden for free.
That's my favorite word too.
Yeah, free 99, baby, all day.
I would start with seeds. So you can collect, my editor Jen collects seeds from mature flower heads, mature pods, and then she saves them to plant in the summertime. Jess does this, she gets them free from parks. So you can also get free seeds from a seed library. Okay. So this is in your community, mine runs out of the library, my actual library. You go, you get seeds, whatever you don't plant, or if you have extra, you just donate back to the library after. Yeah. And also if you Google CD Saturdays or CD Sundays, a lot of communities have these events where they swap stories and seeds.
Okay, I love
this. You get free seeds, free workshops. It's a great resource. Also, keep looking online. You know, there's Facebook Marketplace, they'll sell things, they will sell things for cheap, give things away for free. My friend got a mature blue spruce, and that's an expensive tree.
Yes.
But she got it because somebody said, hey, if you can dig it out, you can have it. Oh. So she just went with a big shovel. Wow. It was fabulous. And finally, municipalities, cities, towns, they will give away free shrubs, free trees, free plants, because they're trying to encourage people to plant native plants.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so spring is starting now. People are getting this sort of spring fever going on. What should we start purchasing immediately?
Okay, we have to talk about timing. So May long weekend is coming up and you're going to have an abundance of choice, right? You're gonna have all of these great options, but the price will be the highest. So you wanna make sure that you price compare, you wanna make sure that you compare the size of your pots. And if you can wait, if you want a deal, I got my hydrangeas at the end of the season. They look so sad, but they were dirt cheap. But they're perennials, so I planted them anyways, and they came back every year. They look fabulous. Keep your receipts in case they don't come back, because a lot of places have year-long guarantees. And then finally, if your garden is not the way you want it to be this year and you're just starting out, it's okay. It's a journey. You want your skills, your gardening skills, and your money and your savings over time to grow.
That's great. Fantastic. Melissa, thank you so much, as always, for these incredible tips.
Great information.
And don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back.
Too much fun on this show. Next time on The Social, there are a lot of hair care recommendations on social media, but stylist Jason Lee is going to be with us to tell us which ones are actually worth your money and worth the hype as well. Listen up. Prenup 101 on Monday's show. How to properly protect yourself with lawyer Lily Coon. It is wedding season, so why not add to the romance by talking about prenups? That's what we're going to do here as well. What a fun show.
Great show. Great show. We cannot forget to say, go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go!
Have a great weekend, everybody. See you same time, same place on Monday. Bye-bye.